Introducing Group C, also known as the Pacific Thunders. Our group's given topic was public schools versus private schools, but today we will be mainly focusing on pro-public. Today we have special guests, John Lee and Matthew Kim, and our interviewer, Junie Kim.
Hi, John.
Hi, Junie.
I'm Matthew.
Hi.
So, John, what are problems with private schools that make public school more appealing to you?
So one of the biggest problems of private school is going to be the tuition cost. So in high school, the median private school cost, tuition per year per student, is going to be $13,030. And for some people, that's just $13,030 too much because the average income in the US is $56,000. So imagine if there's a family of three, all three can't go to private school. It's just not viable. So in this case, because it's just more economically, it's more responsible to go to public school, that's just going to be the better option.
Right. So, what's your opinion on private school doesn't have any special education?
So public school, one of the advantages is that it's going to be government regulated because it's government funded. So that means for special ed, which is also government funded, there's going to be more government regulations and standards as well that's going to be set. So that means that for special education classes, those also going to have standards. While private schools, because they are not government funded, they're going to have different standards and they can choose whatever practices they want. So as a result, results are not guaranteed.
So, Matthew, do you currently attend or have any prior experience in public schools?
Yes.
What do you like about it?
Well, first of all, public schools are government funded, just like John
Okay.
said. So it has all the materials that the students need, such as pencils, papers, and erasers.
And also, what do you dislike about a public school?
Well, since public schools have all those materials, it's kind of overcrowded and filled with children and students.
Right. Okay, so, Matthew, do you believe private school students perform better in academics than their public students peers?
Yes, but I believe that this is due to the fact that private schools are selective.
Hey, what about you, John?
Yes, I do feel the same way, but that's because they, like Matthew said, they tend to be very selective. They don't need to pick everyone. Not everyone can go to these private schools. They can usually just pick the smart people. As a result, they can artificially raise these test scores. And also, the determination of whether someone is smarter or not tends to not be reliant on public or slash private, but they tend to be based on socioeconomic status. The richer you are, typically the smarter one would be, because they would end up having more learning opportunities.
All right, thank you for your time, John. And Matthew.
Thank you.
Introducing Group C, also known as the Pacific Thunder. Our given topic is private versus public school, and we will be mainly focusing on pro-private school. Today we have Harry Lee and William Cho, and our interviewer, Angela Kim.
Okay.
What do you think are some positive impacts that private schools have on students in the long run?
Well, I believe that the private schools have more benefits than public schools because one, the teachers they select can be more verified. They can have more credentials other than I've worked as a teacher for 2 years. They might have special backgrounds where they come in from, and they might also have special qualifications built specifically for private schools. They might have like phobias of crowds, which makes them unable to work at a public school. They can also help in the moral sense, in which they allow children to express themselves, but not enough so that they turn out bad.
So why do you believe that private schools are better than public schools?
Well, I believe that private schools would be better because of the connections that the children can make during their time span spent at the private school. For instance, if someone you met at a elementary public school, you met like 20 years later, you wouldn't exactly recognize them. But at an elementary private school, you definitely would because not a lot of children go to private schools. the reason why it's called private is because there are special benefits that the parents have that they can give to their children, i.e. more money, better tutors, small things like that, which may boost them up in life.
Many people say that private schools are very expensive. What do you have to say to that? Why do you think private schools are worth the heavy price tag?
So there are a lot of benefits, and one of them is more qualified teachers. And in public schools, like teachers only have to have like a minimum certification, but like what Harry said, that they have special qualities, I guess, and like they get teacher and student relationships very important, and due to small class size, like they can like easily connect with their students, and that makes like class time a lot more fun. And
So you feel like the teacher is more interconnected and less distant when in a private school setting?
yeah, and then also like the students and teachers, like in a public school, like teachers like only like choose on people like who like participate often, but like in a private school, like the teacher gets a chance to like talk to everybody, and that like improves like the students' communication skills, which they will need like later in life in any situation.
What do you think is the main difference between private and public schools? Like, what do you think significantly sets private schools apart from public schools that would make a positive impact in a child's life?
Well, private schools are not funded by the government, but public schools are. So if you're funded by the government, you have to, I guess, like follow their curriculum, like your state's curriculum, or like take standardized tests. But private schools, like they have the flexibility and like the money to like just do whatever they want, and I think that's like a good thing for parents. Also, some private schools are like affiliated with one religion, such as like Christianity, and like those type of private schools, like they teach like religious values that like the students' parents might want them to like learn and be brought up upon. And so the main point is that private schools are more flexible in their teaching and their, I guess, beliefs. So the main point is flexibility, and that's something that public schools cannot offer because they're controlled by the government.
Okay, so that concludes our interview. Thank you, Harry and William, for your time.